Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 250 of NasCard Radio, where trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA, and White Castle Hall of Famer, Logan. How are you tonight?
I feel like I've been selected.
You have been.
God knows for what.
Put those code cards in. You're selected. We got a great show for everybody today. Going to do racing recap out of just a few races and a few not anomalies, a few something that hasn't happened in quite a while, history, and select dropped today, released today. Me and Logan got up early today and opened up some select. So we'll talk about the release and talk about turn four for a little bit. This or that, as we have that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what will you choose? And we'll finish it with King's Court.
Another action-packed show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's go. Oh, you know what? I was getting ready to do stuff we got. I want to thank our sponsor, Panini America, and then also shout outs to Randy McDonald, Misha Wines, Chase Blaylock, Jason Freeman, Rip It, Racing Breaks, Robbie's Hobbies, Mike H, Kyle Katz, Lions in the Sand 97, and I was like CAK 5171. Maybe you can decipher that for me. But for the Rumble and YouTube comments, we read them, so please leave them. We had some good, great conversation, so we appreciate it.
The chat has been lively here lately.
It has been, yes. And speaking of lively, uh, we were talking about 2025 Panini Turn 4 releasing in September 26th. We didn't have a pre-sale, and I can't remember who said that. Hey, contact the Steel City. It was going to be 150, and then Blowout went to 300, and so Steel City went to 300. So
Jeez.
yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit more after
Yeah.
racing recap. So, but just want to make everybody aware of it. Please make a note.
Yeah. It's when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about counting my money. A lot of money.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, let's go to the I have a slide. Let's see. Can't remember. I thought so. Here we go. Racing recap. All right, over in the Craftsman Truck Series, they were off. But next race number 19, Sober or Slammer 200, Darlington Raceway, Saturday, August 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern. So they're getting ready to rumble, I was going to say, but get ready to race again. And then over in the Xfinity Series, that was race number 24. That was the Wawa 250 powered by Coca-Cola, Friday, August 22nd. At Daytona International Speedway, Connor Zilisch started the race, and Connor Zilisch won the race, aka by Parker Kligerman. And highest finisher rookie was Connor Zilisch, which I was gonna say, are you muted or not?
Oh, I am muted. That's weird. Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Yeah, so we hadn't seen that. So I went in the archives to kind of look when that happened last in the Xfinity. That was back in 2007 at the Milwaukee Mile. Eric Almirola started the race, but Hamlin finished it for him.
I remember that, and my son and I were actually talking about that. That was the last time that we remember something like that happening.
And in the Cup Series, you got to go way back to 77 at the Talladega 500. And Donnie Allison, I guess, started racing. Darrell Waltrip finished it, won.
Yeah, that's a win that DW didn't have on his total win list.
Yeah, so it's kind of a little different for Racing Recap. So going first cards. So Parker Kligerman, uh, 2010 Wheels Element, Undiscovered Element autographs, numbered to 125, and then also the red ink inscription, numbered at a 25.
Yeah, you don't see that card very often. I guess it's since Parker Klingelman's not a I'm not going to he's a good driver and all, but he's just not one of the top tier drivers. So you just don't see those a lot on eBay.
Yeah, I picked one up years ago. I was actually going through cars, and I'm like, "Oh, Parker Kligerman." So I pulled it out. I had the 125. I don't have the red version. So, but and then I guess I'm giving Connor Zilisch the rookie of the race, highest finisher rookie. So,
Hmm.
and we talked about his cards before. In 2024, Panini Instant card number 4 with the different parallels and also with autos out of 10 and the 101, which I think we saw had a resale there a few weeks ago on
Yeah,
King's Court. Yeah. So,
yeah, pricey.
yeah, very pricey. And the next race, race number 25, is going to be the Pacific Office Automation 147 at Portland International Raceway, Saturday, August 30th at 7:30 p.m. So we have a double header on Saturday.
Makes sense.
And then moving on to the Cup Series, there was race number 26. That was the Coke Zero Sugar 400, Saturday, August 23rd, Daytona International Speedway. Ryan Blaney was our winner by a neck, and our highest finish rookie was Shane Van Gisbergen at position 16.
He's SVG's doing a lot better on the ovals.
Yes, yes, he's turning it around there at the second half of the season. So we'll see how he goes in the and then we get to the playoffs. But Blaney there was pretty close, but I guess we won by half a hood.
Yeah, yeah. He came out of nowhere, man. He was like, I'm going to say like ninth place or something with a lap to go, and he just like came out of nowhere and he passed like everybody. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was nice job there. And we talked about his cards before in 2012. Press Pass Fanfare. Card number 77 has a few different parallels with the blue foil die cuts and hollow foil die cuts. There's silver, sapphire, and diamond, magnificent materials as well, and then Young Gun autographs, silver, gold, red, and blue. And just to remind folks, you can find those autographs with his signature, like you see there with the Y using being the L in Blaney, and then he did sign some his regular way. I think then decided to change his signature to the more traditional we see now, and then it's even kind of been more abbreviated than that now. But that was what it looked like back in 2012, and then SVG. He has a 2013 Super V8 Supercars on the right, and then in 2024 he got Panini cards with Dunruss with the parallels and burning rubber optic and optic signatures. He's in select card 29, 129, and 229 with the different parallels there. And sensations color wheel, also signatures. He's in 2024 Panini Prism card number 87. There's a car card and a portrait card with different parallels for each and sensational signatures, and also in 2024 Panini National Treasures.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he was. Reminds me of the 2004 Kyle Busch. He was everywhere.
Yeah, he was. He was in like I think 5 of the 6 issues or whatever. I think, or four of the 5. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And next race, race number 26, that's going to be the Cookout Southern 500 Darlington Raceway, Sunday, August 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern.
I'm looking forward to that race a lot.
Yeah,
First race of the playoffs.
yeah. And then over in the IndyCar series, that was the Snap on Milwaukee Mile 250, Sunday, August 24th. Christian Rasmussen won that. He came out kind of out of nowhere the last few laps. Um,
Yeah, he had the freshest tires. His strategy paid off for him.
yeah, I thought he was gonna have an accident there. He was. threading the needle those last few laps, and then I loved it when the crew came over and was like, "Oh, you can slow down or not slow down, but you don't have to pass anybody." Afraid he was
Yeah,
gonna hit the wall.
yeah. When he went between one car and the wall, I think if he had another coat of paint, he would have crashed on that wall.
Yeah, that was a close call there. So, and his first win, 2024 Parkside IndyCar Premier Edition. He has the NXT version and also auto. He is in the Pronto as well. I think it's week. He's card number 7 and card 110 with the different parallels for both. And then also in 2024 Parkside Indy 500 Pacific, he has base cards there and signatures. He's got a
That's
pretty good
cool.
signature. Yep.
It's good to see a new winner finally.
Besides Polo and the Will Power and I can't remember who else, but yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah,
But even with that, Alex Palou, even though he's already clinched the championship, he actually uh, gained gained some more ground on everybody else.
yeah. That's it's been a dream season for him, no doubt.
Yeah, so Pato Award is second. He went from 150 minus 151 to minus 165. So having a new winner and not one of the other guys gave
Yeah,
him a little more ground. But like I said, he's a champion. So
yeah. Congrats to him for sure.
yeah, he's sitting at 8 wins, and or I think early on in the season we were talking about maybe it was going to be something like dominating like Max Verstappen. But I went and did a little research on there, and AJ Foy, he was the man in '64. He won 10 of the 13 races. That's incredible. And Alonso Senior in '71, 10 victories out of 18 race schedule, and with Pelot's 8 wins, with one more race to go, he could possibly get 9. So he could possibly tie third place Mario Andretti with 9 wins in
Wow.
1969. So, but he's currently tied um, 3 other drivers right now, so at 8. So we'll see how he does the next race, and that's going to be August 31st in Nashville, the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
If I wasn't working this weekend, I would probably drive there and go see that race.
I thought about that. If it's at the finale next year at Nashville, we might have to go.
We may have to because it's a cool track. I don't think you've ever been there.
No, I've
Um,
never been to Nashville, so
yeah, it's a great track. It's a concrete track. It's a great place. Um, it's really weird on the backstretch. All you see are all these. It's because it's like an industrial park area, and all you see is these warehouses in the background.
got
And
you.
then there's like a hill they dug into, and there's like a cliff when you go into turns 1 and 2. It's cool. I mean, it's a cool place, but it's different.
Okay. So and that's it with racing recap.
A lot of good races. It was a great race weekend, especially anytime you go to Daytona is great.
Oh, definitely. And the first time winner there with Parker. That was real nice.
Yeah, that was super cool.
So and Zilisch didn't get hurt. So that's always good.
Now we called it. Now the question is, well, their playoffs haven't started yet, so he may do the same thing again this coming weekend. So,
Yeah, I
but
mean, he didn't look like he was having any issues because when he won, he ran to the start finish line to celebrate with Parker. So,
yeah, I think he's doing okay, but you just want to be cautious.
of course, of course. So, all right, our next subject 2025 select released, recording on Wednesday. We'll drop this on Friday. Um, so it releases today, the 27th, and kind of get your thoughts on it. And well, I guess while I'm thinking about it here, since it's Let everybody remember that the 2023 Panini Prism Racing expires the 28th. So you make sure you get those in. And then next up is the National Treasures November 1st. So,
Yeah, you and I are sitting on a box of those.
yes, we need to figure out what we're going to do by November. So
Yeah, we got a couple months, but
that way at least you get your if redemption. So redemptions suck, by the way.
yes, yes, they do. I totally agree with you.
So, all right, with Select. Now, Checklist has been released. I've looked at it. There's a couple of surprises in there for me. I don't know how you feel about that. Um, and we opened a box. It was a good, it was a good box or boxes.
Yeah,
We did get the two high numbers. I call them the high numbers, but it's
yeah. Misha, he's going to get on us for saying that, but that's the
that's
old
it.
school. That's the old school in us is calling them high numbers.
Right. So do you remember there's the grandstand, then the pit road, and then trackside. So trackside are the high numbers. They have the big Zoltan. I'm sorry, the big S.
Yep, like this.
Yeah. So you get two a box,
Yeah, you get two a box, and we each got two, which was cool. I'm flipping through mine right now.
which is interesting because the way we opened them, we both pulled them kind of around the same time. So
Yeah, it was our boxes kind of mirrored each other.
a lot of color parallels and stuff like that. We got the two autos and the one mem. I did like the color on the mem. It was two color,
Yeah, because
numbered out of 49.
you got the tie dye one or the rainbow one out of 25, just like I did, except we got the two different ones.
Mine's out of 49, so I got the
Oh, you
red.
was out of 49. You see
Oh, yeah, I'm
mine.
sorry. I was talking about memorabilia. You're talking about auto. I'm sorry. I
Okay,
changed it
sorry.
up on you. We can go to the auto.
No, that's okay. I'll show you my mem card real quick. I got Carson Quapple. It's a blue tire, and it's got the lettering on it, as you can see right there, off the tire, which I thought was super groovy. I liked it. And mine was actually out of 35. It's number 16 of 35. So that was a great hit right there, I think. But my overall impression of opening the box from a box aspect, I like the product. Of course, I was a fan of last year's, and I think from what I've seen so far, that this year's offering is going to be mirroring last year's offering, kind of. So if that's the case, that's going to be good.
Yeah, last year people were chasing SVG, so in the products, and this year I guess I expected to be chasing Zillage, but
Yeah, this guy right here, that's his base card right there.
so I think people were under the impression that Zillage would be in Select, Butterbean would be in Select with autos, and a few other drivers, and doesn't look like they're on the checklist. So, um, but the checklist is up. You can preview that at Panini America, or Beckett has a nice checklist as well with different tabs to search on your memorabilia or autos or base, whatever. So, and explaining the different parallels, I think I counted 29 different parallels.
Yeah, I think that's what you counted. That's what you told me.
But now the checklist is up, you can kind of preview that. The only redemption I saw so far was Kelly Earnhardt Miller was the only one I saw on eBay.
So, are you planning on ordering any boxes, or are you just going to kind of stand off from that for now?
Well, I might take the money and just buy what I want.
That's kind of the
I mean, 120 a box, that'll get you, you know, that'll get you a good zudge,
yeah, it will.
right? So I have no shot, like for me personally, right? I got no shot of Zillage auto. I just buy what I want. So so we'll see. We'll see. I got to dig more into the checklist. I didn't have time to actually find out which drivers are missing from the checklist or the autographs checklist. So um, people might be don't care about autos. They're going after the rainbows for their driver. So
Yeah. Well, I definitely will probably be buying blaster boxes more than likely. I will because I open up a bunch of stuff on my YouTube channel, so I'll probably have some of that content that I can do. But we still haven't gotten Donruss.
blasters or megas.
Anything in my area, Walmart does not have them. Target does not have them.
You think somebody's beating you there?
No, no. We used to have this guy, and I'll even say his name, his first name, and it's only because my son confronted him one time. He was a what we call a pack pincher. He was in there, looking through packs and feeling packs and doing all this crap. His name was Donnie. Is what I'll just leave it at that. And we called him a pack pincher. We saw him all the time. And one time this is back when my son was littler, and that's back when you could still you got packs of like press pass and stuff, and you get a retail box with packs. I remember one time on the bottom of the box they had a piece of foam, I guess as a filler. I said I wrote something on here on the bottom of the foam, something to the effect is like, uh, "You suck, Donnie," or something like that. But we saw that guy everywhere, and he wasn't just pack pinching NasCar; he was pack pinching like everything. But I haven't seen that dude in years. He was older at the time, so I don't know whatever happened to that guy. So, but yeah, he might be the only one that because I don't. It's rare for me to encounter a fellow NasCar collector.
Out in
So
the wild.
out in the wild here in wonderful Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah. So well, I guess you should be getting Donruss pretty quick here, and then
I'm hoping so
and
because I
then
really want to
select
buy a
them all.
Mega and see what that's like.
Gotcha.
See if it's a dud or if it's actually pretty good. But yeah,
Yeah.
going back to Select, I'm sorry to derail the conversation.
I was gonna say, you have any more about Select, and we'll go on to the next product.
Well, I like the colors.
Yeah.
They've got looks like they've got basically the same colors that they had last year. Uh, like the green is one of my favorite colors. The lighter green color. I like those prisms. This one's out of 75 actually, and there's also a lighter blue color that it's really nice looking. So I'm glad they've kept those colors. And like I said, I did get all of my inserts that I was in all my inserts and all my color I was supposed to get. So that was good. I like the parallels. I like all I like it. I don't know what else to really say except that I really like it.
It's okay. You can like it. It's not a
I
problem.
really like it.
I think last year there were 21 or 20 low 20s parallels, so we got a few more parallels this year. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I'm wanting to find some of the NASCAR prisms with the NASCAR logo.
yeah,
You know,
that's a new one. We saw that. I think we saw that on the sell sheet, and then I can't remember if it was on last episode or it was on the break this morning with the NASCAR. But those are really cool.
yeah, that's a good job that they did there with those. That that'll be a tough one to chase.
Yeah, I know we chastise or always bust on Panini. So the NASCAR parallel is awesome. I do like some of the new photography. I think I saw Ken Schrader and I think it was the Jeff Gordon. I had
Bill Elliott
mentioned,
looked it was different pose. There were several that were
yeah,
different.
I think it was Quickie, but the Quickie was the same photo that I saw in last year's in 24. So, but yeah, give him Panini some props on some of that too. So
Yeah, because I know you guys out there are kind of like us. We want to see some different photography. I'm tired of seeing Richard Petty in his because I'm a Richard Petty guy.
put the
With his hand up in the air with his white fire
and then
suit,
hands on the hips.
waving
Right?
to the crowd. So yeah, I'm kind of kind of they've used that one enough. There's another sidebar. Sorry to derail again, but everybody go out there and Google baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Richard Petty. And because that used to be a Chevrolet commercial, because they used to do baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Well, there's a picture of Richard Petty holding a baseball, a hot dog, and an apple pie in his hand back in the 70s. It looks like, I think it's like late 70s. It's a cool picture. And I have been lobbying for Panini to use that picture on a card somewhere. So go out there and Google that. And when you see it, let me know what you think about it.
All right. Let's turn 4.
Okay, let's go to turn 4.
All right. We saw the pre-sale. Kind of talked about it in the opening of the show. 4 cards, 2 autos, 1 mem, 1 base slash parallel slash insert. So you get 4 cards. $300 is the pre-sale. I think somebody had mentioned that they thought it was going to be 150, but then the big three have priced it at 300. We did a
Mhm.
little math figure in here.
Yeah, we did some ciphering.
And what did you say it was? It was, I think we said it was like comparing it to NT, which is 400 for, it was 8 cards. That's $50.
Yeah, we used the NasCard Radio supercomputer to come up with this because you know I'm old, but but yeah. So you're right. $50 basically a card for NT, and so what is it at $300 for 4 cards?
Yeah, so maybe 150.
$75.
So maybe it's going to be in the 150 to 200 range. I don't know. So at that right there at 300, I would wait to see the checklist because of some of this that happened with Select. I was definitely now a wait and see on the checklist since can't assume anything because I assumed about Select and Zilisch autos and that didn't happen. So
Well, I'm not going to rag on any specific driver, but we all know some of the lower end drivers who have never won a race, either in any series of the three big touring series that are in these products. So
right.
I'm hoping that we don't have that many of them in turn 4. I'm really hoping for that.
Yeah, I'd love to know maybe about the pack out for this, right? And what the SRP or what they're shooting for. Because, like Misha talked about, I guess, like with a case, you might have some dud Dunruss boxes, but it means you're going to get something big in the case, kind of a thing. So, I mean, if I'm opening turn 4 and I'm get a Jeremy Clements and a Brittany Zamora and a Clint Boyer memorabilia and a base card for $300, I mean,
Yeah, that would not make my day. That would be like somebody peeing in the Wheaties for me. I don't know. I'd like that.
So I want to see the autograph um, checklist and stuff like that first before how big is this base set, who the subjects are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they pretty much know everything right now, and that's one thing I really wish that they would do is release these checklists a little earlier instead of like the day of or the day before. Give us some information. I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that. If it was me and my company, I would want to put that out for my collectors, and so they would know what they're getting. But it is what it is.
Right. So companies can do what they want and consumers can do what they want. So
This is true. But I will say that at $300 a box, that's going to be a hard pill for me to swallow. I cannot imagine that these are going to be $300 retail. I think it's going to be like what we've seen with Donruss in the past with the big three. I think we're going to see a pretty substantial price drop.
I want was it Select the other year? Maybe it was when Select came out. It was like 200 a box, and then it dropped eventually. It sat at 200 for like a month or whatever, and then it slowly dropped to like 150 or 120, whatever it settled in at.
Right. I think it's 120. Yeah.
But I think it was, in the 200 range when it first got pre-saled, I guess so.
Yeah, so I'm confident it's going to go down. I just cannot imagine. $300 for 4 cards. If that's the case, then this is now the ultra premium product for NASCAR. That eclipses NT when you think about it.
And just on me, we did not talk about it. We talked about it kind of pre-show, whatever, about one of the big inserts now
Yeah. Oh
in
yeah.
turn four.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be nice. The Ka-Varoom cards. That's one of the. I'm glad to see that we are getting our Kaboom as a Ka-Varoom because I think that's very clever. I like the idea behind that, and I think it's going to be a cool card. It's going to be with cars, and I think what we've heard is next year it will be with drivers. I think they're going to alternate, but this year's going to be with cars, Ka-Varoom, which makes sense when you think about it. But
Oh,
that's very
definitely.
clever, very ingenious. I like the idea. I can't wait to really see those things in real life and how many they're going to make, different ones.
Right. How many are in a set? And so, again, if that's a case hit, what that's going to command. So that's got to be probably baked into the case price.
Probably.
So maybe that's
So
where some of that money is coming from. I don't know.
it could be. Who knows? But yeah, I am excited about that aspect of it. And those will be cards that if the checklist is small, let's say it's like 12 cards, that's kind of doable. It's going to be expensive, but that's kind of doable. But if it gets to be like 25, 30 cards, oh no, that'd be almost impossible to try to put together. I mean, you would have to be counting all your money. You know what I mean? Buy those things. It would be very
Yes, you would buy
expensive.
those and buy those cases. Yes, sir. So, all right. Anything else? I guess we beat that, but
uh, I can't think of anything. I mean, of course, we're not going to really touch on it, but of course, the playoffs are starting, so it'll be interesting to see who makes it in and who makes it out. But we will
right,
see.
who starts securing their ticket to the next round?
Yeah. So it could be Denny Hamlin this weekend at Darlington. We'll see.
We will see. Maybe this could be his year. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know.
So, but do have a this or that. You don't know exactly what it is
I have
yet.
not. I have. I literally people have not seen this or that or them or they or anything.
Yeah. So let's jump on over to this or
Let's
that.
do it.
Would you do this or would you do that? Would you choose this or would you choose that? Let's play this or that.
All right.
Oh wow.
This week's this or that, we have 101 Benny Parsons from National Treasures, and then we have the Jeff Gordon uh, 2 of 2 from National Treasures. Now they both clock in at $405 and change.
Oh wow.
Um, the Gordon in August, and Parson was a little older in June, but still um, relevant for the this or that. So
Yes.
make it a little harder this week.
You did make it hard, man. You know, I'm a sucker for cut autographs. So I'm going. You probably already know this, but I'm going to go with Benny Parsons just because. I love. Well, they're both Hall of Famers, but Benny's not signing anymore. Rest his soul. So I'm going with Benny Parsons. That's the one I like.
That's fine. Again, there's no wrong answer. So we
Yeah.
would love to know in the comments which one you would choose. So I think I like the Parsons. I'm not a big fan of the pencil from the lithos, even though that kind of pinpoints exactly where that came from. So, but I do like the Gordon with the dual tires and also 2 of 2. So
Yeah, that is a nice card with the part of the Goodyear on the tires. That's a cool card. And it is a two of 2, so there's only two of them. But yeah, I'm still going with Benny Parsons. I'm like I said, I'm a sucker for the cut autos.
and that's fine. I kind of knew that, but
You knew what I was going to do.
but again, the price is super comparable. So you could have this, or you could have had that for the money. So
Yep. So yeah, that's cool, man. I like that. That's good. I was totally surprised. I had no clue.
so I'm curious to see what everybody else. Since we're kind of split, sometimes when we do this, we usually side with one or the other, and most of the folks side with us. So we're kind of split today. So we'll see who likes what. So
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
it's always fun. So, but anything else? We go to King's Court.
I think let's just move on to King's Court, brother.
Because I think you got a few honorable mentions too, so it's going to be a stack.
I have just two.
Yeah, but we'll talk about some of them. So,
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do
all
it.
right.
All right. My hair is getting like way too long. And that Imperial margarine's really, really good, by the way. All right. So this week's King's Court, we're going to start off with honorable mention number 1. 2025 IndyCar Joseph Newgarden, Indianapolis Indy, it says on there. They're trying to cover all the key words. Indy 500 Brick Relic, only out of 100. Too bad I missed this one because they were asking $300 and it went for $255, which is kind of in line with, actually, it's a little lower than some of the ones we've seen lately. But again, it went for $255. I think that is so super cool.
Very nice. It's an amazing relic, right?
It is. I'd love to see the process that they use to cut those and everything. I think it would be fascinating to watch.
From 1909, amazing.
Yeah, it is. I've got some of those bricks over here, the real bricks, but it's a great card. I think they got it for a great price. So, congrats, Mr. Buyer, whoever you are. You did very well.
Yes, sir.
All right. So next up, we've got honorable mention number 2, and this was kind of surprising in a way that it's actually just an honorable mention. But anyway, this is on the 25th of August. It's a 1983 Uno Racing Dale Earnhardt number 27 rookie, they say, PSA 9. They were asking $1,200 for this bad boy, and they accepted an offer of $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, for a 9. So again, that begs the question, which we've asked before. What does this make a 10? Probably 3 to 4,000.
Yeah, I would say so. I love that they show the grades in 9, the PSA 9 pop is 23, total pop is 48.
Yeah, that's cool that eBay's doing that now. I like that. Um, I don't know how you make it say that, but I'm sure you have to put in a keyword or do something in the description or maybe something else when you're listing. But I do like that, and I will say thanks to Val. He's the one that back in the day when these finally surfaced, because there were years where we didn't see these cards. And see, it's got a little fisheye on the back of that. Look at the bottom. You see it right there?
Yeah, right.
That's probably what got it right there. But anyway, Val was able to run down quite a few of these, and I was actually smart enough to get in on it with Val, and we got a few sets. And I think Val, you even have an uncut sheet, don't you, or no?
I think I have a few.
Yeah,
I think I get one or two uncut sheets, one with barcodes on the side and one without. I think I don't know. It's been a long time since I pulled that out, but yeah, that was back in 2006. They kind of surfaced. So after uh, David Chobot's estate put those up. So
yeah, these are extremely tough. You don't see a lot of them on eBay at all, and complete sets are even tougher now. I mean, even though it's like a 30 card set, um, it's still it's to me it's one of the greatest, rarest NASCAR sets that we've got out there.
yeah, it's a tough one,
It's tough.
but
Nah,
that's awesome.
that's a cool card, man. Congrats both to the buyer and the seller. I think both did well.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. All right. Next up is our Joker of the week. This was on the 24th of August. 1995 Max Crown Chrome near set autographed. It says wow. Gordon, Petty, and Wallace. They were asking $400 for basically 176 autos out of 100. It says 181, but I looked at the checklist. It's 185. But and he may not be counting the checklist themselves, which you could get those signed by any of the top drivers would have been good. But anyway, getting back to that, um, you just don't see a lot of you know sets or near sets of this size that are autographed that are offered on eBay. And I hate that I missed this because you've got a lot of Hall of Famers in there. Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s not in it, but you've got Rusty Wallace and Dale Jarrett, people like that in this. Jeffy Pooh.
There's a few Jeff Gordons in there.
Yeah, there's a few Jeff Gordons. So I mean, even those right there are worth the price, I think. But they were asking $400, and they settled on a best offer of only, and I say only, $250.
Oh wow, that's a
Yeah,
great price.
yeah. I used the NasCard Radio supercomputer again, and it told me that was $1.42 per auto.
Wow. I mean, if you were gonna go do through the through the mail, it cost you that
Yeah, you can't even do through the mail. I mean, what's postage now? 70 something cents?
something like that. You got there and back, and then you have to buy two envelopes, and then
Yeah.
your time you have to address the envelopes. Somebody got a great deal.
No, this that's a heck of a deal, man. I hate that I missed that, but I mean, there's so much on eBay you cannot see it all. It's kind of like going to the National. You can't see everything. But yeah, that's a great deal for whoever got it. So congrats, and congrats because you did very well. I mean, there's some deceased drivers because you saw John Andretti there. So I would say probably most of those autographs are probably from that period. From when you think about it, dude, 1995 is like 30 years ago.
Exactly. I saw the Joe Gibbs there.
Yeah, Joe Gibbs. That's a better looking Joe Gibbs. His autograph doesn't look that good. I mean, it still looks very similar, but it's not as good as that anymore.
Yeah.
Um, see, there's another well, that's Dave Marcus. At first, I thought that was Mark Martin, but it's Dave Marcus. Um, but
Very
yeah,
nice.
that's great, great. I love it. All right, next up, our Queen of the Week. This is on the 22nd of August, and it's a 2020 Hailie Deegan. There she is. And it's a NASCAR rookie gold prism. And you know what? I thought I hit it. We love gold. There you go. Yeah, that was kind of. I'll play it again. There we go. We love gold. There you go. There you go. But anyway, it's a 2020 Hailie Deegan NASCAR rookie gold prism out of 10, PSA 9, Pop 3. So, wow, 3 of those out of the 10 have been graded, and they're all 9s, apparently. But they were asking $249.99, and they took a best offer of $185 for Hailie Deegan gold.
Wow, 9. Okay.
A 9 for $185. She barely beat out Natalie Decker. Natalie Decker had a 1-on-1 gold that sold. It wasn't out of this set. I can't remember what set it was. But when I was looking through, it sold for $175. So she barely beat out Natalie.
Wow.
So pretty cool card there. Again, we haven't seen much out of her, but her market is still doing pretty good. I guess it's kind of like Danica,
Yeah.
So really
So
cool.
I think you jumped over the young driver.
Did I? I did. Oh, holy smokes, I did.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Okay. Well, we'll jump and then we'll jump back.
Okay, all right. So we'll go back to our Jack of the Week. Wow, can't believe I jumped right over that. I sure as heck did. This was on the 23rd of August. It's 2025 Donruss Racing. Connor Zilisch, rookie card, rated rookie, optic gold, and We love gold. There you go. Yeah, there you go. But it's rated rookie says true gold. It's out of 10. Of course, we all know gold's out of 10. Uh, the seller was asking $799.99 for that gold auto. I would love to hit something like that. That would be incredible. But anyway, uh, they took a best offer of $450 for Conversation. No doubt about it, man. Uh, that's a epic card right there. Um, if this kid does half of what they think he's going to do, uh, he'll be up there in the NASCAR all time wins of the top 10 for sure. So let's hope his future is bright because he's very likable. I like this kid. I think he's well spoken. He's doing very very well driving. He's like kicking everybody's butt. But yeah, so what do you think about that card, man?
I love the card. Um, me, I'm Debbie Downer or whatever, but uh, I don't know if Trackhouse can get him the equipment he needs. But that's next year, and that's so far away. So we'll focus on Xfinity and see if he can pull that championship home this year.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just wait till next year. But um, you're talking about trackside's cars. Um, who knows? I mean, hopefully their cars will get better. I don't know what kind of how long his contract is that he has signed. I said trackside trackhouse. Excuse me. Um, I don't know how long his contract's going to be, but we'll see. I guess if he gets in that car, and it's kind of like you got to think about Hendrick. When they got Jeff Gordon, that's when they really really took off. I mean, they were doing okay. They were kind of doing like what Trackhouse, excuse me, Trackhouse is doing now. So maybe this is what's going to elevate them to the next level. Because, like I said, when Hendrick signed Jeffy Poo and he started winning a bunch of races, I mean that just elevated Hendrick to a whole new level. So we'll
But it
see.
was a combo deal. It was
That's true.
Gordon,
You had Ray Havernham.
so the two of them together. So anyway, don't have to go through a history. So, but I'm hoping that they can give him the equipment he needs and that he can continue on. Junior's got great equipment, and so, but again, that's next year, and let's focus on this year. So, but this is an awesome card.
It is. That's an epic card. Whoever pulled that, if they had it on video, I'm sure they were just going absolutely nuts because I would have for sure.
Yes, you would have.
I love it. I'd get it graded if it was me. I'd get it graded. But
Definitely.
yeah, nice car. Yeah, sorry I skipped over that. I saw you pull that up, and I didn't even think about it. It's weird. But anyway, all right. So now let's get back on track. You like that? Back on
Yeah,
track.
I love it. Yep.
Yeah. Our king of the week. This was on the 25th of August. 1988 Max, we never see this card. 1988 Max Charlotte promo, number 99 Dale Earnhardt rookie card. It says a lot of Dale Earnhardt rookie cards tonight, I guess. PSA 10, Jim Mint. They were asking $1,200. They took a best offer of $1,005. That's why this is the king this week because he beat the 83 Uno by $5.
Gotcha.
$1,005. That's still not bad. I bought mine the one I've got two of those like that. I bought one last year from Jeff Wilson, his table, and paid an ungodly low price for it. So I'm glad I did. But $1,005 is still to me not that bad for this card.
No, we talked about it. It's a growl card or the what is the Dr.
NASCAR
Gray?
Glamour card.
Yeah, glamour card. So I mean, it's epic photo, and like the 52 mantle. It's everybody knows what it looks like.
Yeah, and every week I go through all these eBay listings, and I see a lot of raw this card, a lot of raw ones, a lot of graded ones. So there's a lot of them out there. So yeah, I think we talked about it not too long ago. I wonder if they printed the same amount of these cards as they printed the rest of the cards. If they did, that's a lot of cards.
Well, they not all of them got out, so
That's true. I'm sure somebody's sitting on a nice little box of these somewhere.
I don't know. I would have thought they would all come out by now, but still,
Yeah, but yeah, cool card. You know how we feel about this card. We love it.
yes, we do. All right.
All right, next up, our ace of the week, 101. It's the 21st of August, 2025 Panini Instant. Check this out. Number 43, Shane Van Gisbergen, 1 of 1 pre-sale. This is a pre-sale, y'all. They were asking $499.99 for this, and they took a best offer pre-sale of $450.
Wow, I was looking at the burnt pizza.
That's it's funny you say that. I'm going to get off onto another tangent, but my little brother, this has been years ago, and I may have that picture in archive somewhere. He took a picture. This is like pre-smartphone. I think he may have taken it on an older flip phone. But anyway, he sent me a picture of a pizza. He forgot he went out and did something. And he had a pizza in the oven. He came back and it looked like that. It did.
Yeah, I was say we all kind of made pizzas like this. So, but that SVG originally sold for, so say it was a nice little $199.99. So $200 was the cost. So you had to beat everybody else in and grab it for 200. So
Well, it's not Ticketmaster, so you can't, when you get into Panini site, you can't reserve anything. So
no,
you better have some bots or something to get whatever it is you're going to get.
but I love to see the good Panini Instant sales. So that's great.
Yeah, me too. Because we went years without any Panini Instant. I know that we've been complaining about it a little bit here recently because there's been so many, and I've got a second mortgage on my house to cover it. But yeah, I'm glad to see this for Panini Instant. I'm proud for it.
Yep.
All right. Lastly, our Royal Flush of the Week. This is on the 23rd of August. Look who it is, 2025 Panini, another instant card. It's a Connor Zilisch and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Magma, I should say Magma card. It's autographed rookie 1 of 1. They're asking $24.99.99 for this card, and it went for $1,500.
Wow, that's a big drop. I mean, I guess they were fishing there with 2,500 down to 15. That took a grand off.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were definitely fishing, but you're right. It's got the Magma burnt pizza on there.
Yeah, so that was card number 30. So I can't remember. I think this was $500 if I remember right. Give me 1 second. I have it here.
Yeah, I'll play some sound effects while you're doing that.
No, you need probably doing the cash machine. Oh, it was $800
Oh dang, it was $800. So you made 50. You made $700. That's pretty
plus
good.
plus fees. So
Yeah, counting them $100 bills right there, brother.
yeah, man. So hot potato and getting rid of that. So, but
Yeah, that's an awesome card. I don't know that I would pay that much for that card. But
all the stickers on there, man. You have Zillage sticker and you have Dale sticker, and then you have JRM stickers.
yeah, and I thought they would have been. I looked at that and I thought they would have been like sequential numbers, and they're not. So I thought that was really strange. Maybe Junior has his own set of numbers in their database, So I don't know.
Maybe, but it is cool. That is awesome. Again, the power of Panini Instant week in and week out. So
Yeah, I mean, we've had the top 2 cards this week are instant cards, so that says a lot for the NASCAR market. I realize that this is probably not like the big 4 sports, when Topps does it or Panini does it, but still, I think it's pretty impressive.
definitely, I think it's great that they're able to do. Um, these quickly and then offer these different type of moments each week. So,
Yeah, me
um,
too.
and speaking of that, one thing we did talk about, but we didn't do though, and made me think about it when we were talking about Panini Instant.
Oh, it was this week's instant.
Yes, um, and so we have a double back to back this week with Ryan Blaney and Austin Dillon. The Blaneys have all sold out except the autos have sold out, except for the five parallel, and the Austin Dillons are still there. So we'll see if they're still there after today. But the two autos, the 101 and out of 10, but the Dillon 101 non-auto is sold, so that one went already. But again, these are um, this week's, and they're able to, if you're not familiar with Panini Instant, print on demand, and so we'll find out what the print runs are. And I guess we need to do another show on that. We haven't done
Yeah, we need to update on the print runs.
because yeah, that information is nowhere. It's not
It's
on
only here.
Panini's. Yes, it's not on Panini's site at all. You have to either go on eBay and look up each card and document that. So the older ones are on the Racing Card Info site, 2016, 2017 print runs. I need to update the 2024s and stuff. So, but it's really awesome to see the two top cards being Panini Instant. That's the first for
Yeah, I
uh,
think that's a first for King's Court.
it is.
Also, on the RCR site, what are they doing with Austin Dillon cards?
Yes, they are pre-selling the base card that we saw. What's it here? It's 9.99 here, but then you have to pay for the what was it, FedEx shipping, whatever. It's like 21 something, I think it is to get one card. And I think at RCR they're 19. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
think
19. I
shipping.
think 1999. I think is what they are.
So we'll see how that goes. That's a pre-order for them. This is the first team that I know of that's actually reselling them on their site. Hendrick has included it in their email blast when Larson has won. We saw some of that elevated numbers
Hmm.
with the email blast. So we'll be curious to see how Austin Dillon, what the print runs are for them. So, but
Yeah,
again, I'm hoping this catches on. And for the life of me, I don't understand why a cup win is very hard, no matter what team. And I know some teams, I guess, well, I'm say take them for granted or whatever, right? So you got Larson and Logano and Blaney. These guys are winning in and out, but you have other guys that Chastain and Dillon. They win, hopefully once a year or whatever. And so a win is a big deal, and that
it is.
celebrating that. And I don't understand why they don't pick up 100 or 200 cards and resell them in the shop. I mean, you figure that'd be you commemorating your driver winning and that shop winning at the cup level. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know why, but we've talked about it before. And I have nothing against diecast because I like diecast cars. I just don't have room to buy them and display them like I used to anymore. But it seems like diecast takes a front seat to the back seat of trading cards. You know,
and
I,
maybe the margins are bigger.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the teams and the drivers make more money off of diecast than they do off cards.
So I mean, if you're going to play, if you can buy them for $4 or $5 from Panini in bulk, and they're selling them for 20, so that's a multiple time, but you have to push a lot of that as opposed to like $120 die cast, right? So
This is true.
so if you sell the die, if you get the die cast for 50 and you can sell for 100, that's a $50 swing every time you sell one, as opposed to whatever whatever it was $15 or whatever every time you sell a card. So got to sell multiple cards.
Yep, sure do.
But anyway, I think that's all we got.
Yeah, and
Um,
guess what? We just went over an hour.
So there you go.
We,
No matter
we,
what we
we,
do, we can't.
we were talking in the green room before this that this will be a shorter show tonight. Wrongo. You know, all I got to say is
Exactly.
we
Uh,
tried.
we
We're
did.
going to get the little trophy that says we tried.
We get that each week. So, all right. Any hashtags? I got a hashtag for
Go
you.
for it.
Redemption suck.
I like it. I'm going to start using that one. If you know, I'll steal it from you next week. But
Okay.
yeah, I got hashtag we love gold. There you go. Hashtag it's so shiny. Hashtag PSA 10s, which we've seen. And hashtag Ty freaking Gibbs, when are you going to win a race? That's a big long hashtag.
Yes. Yes. So, all right. Again, for me and Logan, thanks for watching the show. Please like, share the podcast, um, share NASCAR trading cards with your friends, and let them know about the show. Please like, comment, let us know this or that, which one you would have chosen if you were choosing. And that's it. We got some great races, I guess. Not guess coming this weekend.
Yep.
Got doubleheader on Saturday, and uh, IndyCar's wrapping up. And I have a safe holiday weekend as well. And we will be back here next week. And we are out of here. Okay, bye.